Welcome to Spiritual Rockstar Podcast, where world-changing spiritual entrepreneurs come to deeply awaken the power within to bring forth their greatest purpose, to create massive awakened impact for millions of souls around the planet, while enjoying being in tune with all life and real wealth in all aspects of their lives. I'm your host, Daniel John Hanneman. And welcome, everybody. I'm so glad to be with you here again, Spiritual Rockstar Podcast. And oh my gosh, we're going to be in for such an amazing time together. Twin Flames Exposed. Come on. I mean, we've got to learn more about this. I mean, all of us want to learn more about this. Whether you think you're with your twin flame or not, it doesn't matter. Oh my God, this is such a hot topic, such a sexy topic to me anyway. I just think it's so delightful to know what that ooh la la of life is. And I don't want to get into the topic just yet, but my God, I have a sense of what this thing is, of my own little mind of what I know about it. But I want to have our amazing guests to talk about it, Elle, today. And she's going to share her incredible experiences in guiding people to their twin flames. And I'll let her tell you about it, but we're about to get into it in just a moment. Hang on, we're about to have an amazing ride together. Do you want to meditate and make money? Let it be simple. Let it be easy. Let it be fun. Go to yoursacredpurpose.com and get your free Meditate, Make Money meditation today. All right. So, Elle, I'm so grateful that you're here today.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
All right. All right. So as we're blasting off here, let me tell you about her background real quick. Elle Hari is a #1 international best-selling author and Twin Flame and Ascension Expert. So, hey, you get the best of all of it right here. Who helps people overcome fear, pain, and self-sabotaging limitations in order to guide them toward their true nature of bliss and perpetual happiness. After experiencing her own twin flame journey, Elle left her career as a lawyer to help others navigate their own paths towards ascension. Now, as the founder and CEO of Elle Hari Universal LLC and creator of the Be With Your Twin Flame and Mastery of Ascension Alchemy brands, Elle helps her students learn to unconditionally love themselves and manifest their greatest dreams. Her mission is driven by a passion to expand people's awareness of the truth of the twin flame journey and assist humanity's spiritual ascension on the global scale. Oh, can't wait to hear about that. Elle has written 4 best-selling books, including Twin Flames Exposed, Love Exposed, Yes, I Can, Savvy Spirituality, The Sophisticated, Fun, and Fabulous Person's Ultimate Guide to Everlasting Happiness. She has recently been named to the prestigious Brain's Global 500 list for 2020, alongside Vice President Kamala Harris and Elon Musk, and the top 10 powerful women in 2021 on Yahoo Finance, alongside Oprah Winfrey. I don't know who's she. Okay, for her expertise, Elle has been featured in Nikki Swift, MEAWW, Elephant Journal, and many more. Today, she is here, of course, to reveal to us insights again about Twin Flames Exposed, why most of what you think you know about twin flames isn't true. There's a lot that's not true. And how understanding the truth is the key to being with your twin flame in this lifetime. Oh man, can't wait to get into it, Elle. This is so fascinating. You know, one of the first things I like to talk about as we get into the subject matter is, quite frankly, sort of the usual thing, but I like to hear about how people got to doing what they're doing. You know, what is the sort of journey, the story, the background that led you to doing what you do today?
Experiencing my own twin flame journey, not consciously, not intentionally, but as no one does, you're just kind of thrust onto it. And I found myself 9 years ago now, it's going on 9 years, I can't believe it, in the throes of a twin flame journey. And I didn't know what it was. I spent 6 months in an emotional puddle on the floor. I couldn't function. And 6 months, looking for answers, searching for, help in many different places, various spiritual advisors, psychics, voodoo mambo, therapist. Finally, and I remember this is 9 years ago. So twin flames wasn't even really a thing in psychic circles or spiritual circles either. So I spoke with like 13 different spiritual advisors, psychics, people within those 6 months, and none of them mentioned twin flame until Finn, 6 months in, said, "Oh, you could be, it sounds like you're twin flames with this guy." And then I was like, what? And then I Googled it, and 2 things came up at the time on twin flames, pretty much on the first page of Google. And the top one was this lady in Australia, and her name was Leora. And she, you could, I paid her, I went to her website, paid her to like help me, because I was just desperate. I couldn't function, like I said, for 6 months, and so much pain and confusion. And yeah, I signed up with her. I had my first, session with her that night, and every day since that, for 2 years straight. And she, within 2 weeks, I was feeling normal again and happy. And then within 3 months, I magnetized my twin flame back in, and I still kept working with her because she just knew so much. And I was just really interested in learning about twin flame journey as part of the ascension process, and I just learning about ascension as a whole. And then she, 2 years, almost to the day after I started working with her, she passed over. And then a year after that, her website was taken down. So I knew, like, the world was bereft. If anyone else was going through this, which I knew people had to have been, they weren't getting the benefit of her help and her teachings anymore. So that's when I wrote and self-published Twin Flames Exposed. And I put it on Amazon, and it was just, to kind of demystify or dispel, I guess, some of the myths, most of the common myths about twin flames, because that was really my teacher Leora's biggest pet peeve. She's like, there's so much misinformation out there, because as we were working together, more and more people started awakening and becoming aware of the twin flame journey, and now it's just blown up, as you know. But like I said, within these 9 years, it's just grown exponentially how many people have been experiencing this. So I put my Twin Flames Exposed on Amazon, and people just started reaching out to me. Please help me, please help me, please help me. And so that's how I ended up helping people and coaching people. And then it just kind of grew on its own from there.
Wow, yeah, that's amazing. I think what was really common to me when you were saying that is because here at Spiritual Rockstar, we're always talking about rocking it out from the deepest, truest thing, our deeper presence, everything. And like for you, going through the journey you went through, like just to be, it sounds like you're like really crushed, and then you got that guidance and support from your mentor, and then it was just so organic is what I'm hearing. Then when she helped you, and then she passed on, and then it's like, oh my God, this is something the world needs, and you just kind of took the reins from there. And just as a demonstration of how we make it so complicated, like what's going to work for us. So many things are put together, it's what am I supposed to share on the world? And often we miss the most authentic, clearest thing that we're here to share is right in front of our nose, and it's funny how we can just miss it so easily. And I'm so grateful. Like that's one of the reasons why you've been able to develop a sizable, impactful business, as we're talking about in the bio. And so thank you for realizing, like following that journey. Like you're just really sincere about your path. It seems like what's true about this twin flame thing, and what's true for me, what's true for others, what's true about ascension. I don't know, that's just the vibe I'm getting from you as we're talking about this.
Yeah, I think you kind of nailed it. They say you don't find your purpose finds you. And one of the benefits, and there are, for people feeling it right now, on the twin flame journey and the pain, it doesn't feel like it's a blessing at all, or there are any benefits, but it actually is a blessing. And it brings you to your truth. And part of your truth is your purpose. Your purpose is part of your truth. So, it's very common that as you move along the twin flame journey, your purpose does find you. It finds you. And, I started, I wrote that book just really in homage to Leora, my teacher who saved my life, so that's that's how, I was sincere about it, but then it kind of just built up from there.
Let's talk about the basics. You've been asked these questions so many times, and yet they're so important. Twin flame is such a loaded, concept, because everybody's gotten their own idea what that means. Well, it means, you're carbon copies and you're just male and female, like for people, and people are in a male-female relationship. So there's just, and then I could go on and on, but there's all these different ideas of what a twin flame is. From your perspective and from what you know about it, what the heck is a twin flame anyway?
Twin flame is two bodies that share the same soul. Mm-hmm. Or one soul's two bodies. Pretty much. That's what twin flames are. The same exact soul, the same exact energetic being. So soul is energy. Everything and everyone is energy. And so everyone's core energy, what they are, the energy that they are, irrespective of their physical selves, is their soul. And the soul needs to make two opposites of itself when it's incarnated here, when it incarnates here when you're born. And the reason for that is because, like I said, the soul's energy, but it doesn't originate in the third dimension, which is the physical world. It originates in 5D, the fifth dimension. And the energetic paradigm of the third dimension is different than that of the fifth dimension. The third dimension energetic paradigm is one of opposites and duality. We have up and down, hot and cold, and out, good and bad, light and dark. Everything seems to have an opposite. In 5D, it's not like that. Everything just is. And that's why we actually incarnate here in all of our lifetimes, is because we need to have the duality and the opposites in order to learn. Because without knowing what up is, you can't know what's down. You know what I mean? You need it for comparison purposes. And that's how we learn. So our soul, when it incarnates here, it needs to because it's energy, it needs to energetically assimilate into the third dimension paradigm of opposites and duality. So it needs to make two opposites of itself. And one is in the physical body of one twin flame, and the other opposite is within the physical body of the other twin flame. And in energetic terms, opposites are called polarities. So one twin flame has one polarity of the soul, and the other twin flame has the other polarity of the soul while they're incarnated here.
Wow. Yeah. I've heard definitions like that before, but the way when you said it, I was just like, wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. We're just one soul, and we're, wow. And yet we're seem like two different people. And so, okay, so let me, like I told you, I think this is such a deep, fascinating subject. It brings up as many questions as answers. Every single answer you give, I have like 30 more questions. So I'll try to, we won't be here all day, but like
all right.
A few questions. So some people could argue that we're all one soul, right? Like everybody is one soul, and we're all twin flames in a way, because after all, we're all one, everybody says. So how is it really, it's also abstract in a way, right? It's so hard for the mind anyway to comprehend. So how is it that, like, there's just this, is it just like, do we have many twin flames? Are we all twin flames at some level? I would love to hear your, what you have to share about that.
Yeah, so that's a great question. So no, we have only one twin flame, but you're right in that the way when people say we're all one, we are all connected energetically. And so that's the thing about the 3D physical world. If you just look around in the physical perspective, we look like we're separate from everything and everyone else. But in reality, we're not, because everything's energy, and everything in our physical reality is brought in there because our energy resonates with the energy of those people or those things or that situation or those events on some level. And so we resonate with everyone that's in our physical reality to some degree or another, whether that's in the form of family members or form of friends or form of coworkers or form of lovers or whatever, right? There's different degrees and ways in which we resonate with certain people. And that's because our soul resonates with their soul in certain degrees and ways. Twin flames, being the same soul, we resonate with them exactly. And we don't resonate with anything or anyone else in the entire cosmos exactly, except for our twin flames, because they are the exact same energy. But we can still, have resonance with other energetic fields and other energetic waves and vibrations and frequencies. So that's how we are connected, but we aren't the same exact energetic frequency as anyone else, except for our twin flame.
Hmm. So it's literally been created that way by source, or whatever you want to call it, the sorcerer of everything, right? There's only one other one, that's it. Never 3, never 4, never 5. I find that fascinating. I mean, if somebody were to say, well, prove it to me, how could you literally because there's going to be, I mean, even I'm skeptical. I'm like, well, how could you prove there's only one other one?
Because of the definition of duality and polarity. There's polarity and duality. There is only 2 of it. And that's what twin flames are. They're duality and polarity personified, manifested physically of your soul. So, by definition, there are 2. Knowing, just take a little bit further, knowing that is the key to actually, if you're in a twin flame journey, maybe we'll get into this. I don't know where you want to go with this. If you're in the throes of a twin flame journey and you want to get back together physically with your twin flame for any sustained amount of time, you need to stop the polarity. And so it only takes one twin flame to do that, which is why that is, because, you take away one end of the polarity, the other polarity isn't there either. So it becomes neutralized. But anyway.
Okay, well, let's talk more about that. So if there's, so I'm trying to follow. My brain is just like, what the heck are we talking about? I'm trying to follow. But I like that. I like to be confused. So because I'm learning something. So okay. So there's up, there's down, there's hot, there's cold, and then there's okay, this end of the soul, that end of the soul, kind of just to put it into words. Let's just put it that way, I guess, for now. So yeah. So what does that look like? All different things, these twin flame journeys, do they look really different in all these different scenarios with our twin flame? Or it's hey, one's more aggressive, the other one's more passive? I'm putting out questions too that I might have, but also I think my audience might have. What does that really mean? Because people think about polarity, they think about yin and yang and all these different kind of concepts and stuff. So I'm kind of wondering about the polarity and what is this twin flame journey exactly?
Yeah. Okay. So first of all, I'm going to start from we'll build up into that. Okay. So first of all, everyone has and is a twin flame. It's how we're all created. Everyone has crossed paths with their twin flame in every single lifetime. Everyone out there probably knows their twin flame or seen their twin flame at least in this lifetime. They don't know their twin flames necessarily, and that's fine. That's perfect. But I mean, people are right now, there's billions of people married to their twin flames, living next door to their twin flames, working with their twin flames, and they just don't know that they're twin flames. And that's fine. And they won't until and unless they have what's called soul recognition. That is a moment in time when the soul, you can't plan this, you can't intend for this to happen, you don't even consciously feel that it happens. But the soul recognizes itself on the deepest energetic level that it is within the other twin flame. And then at that moment in time, the polarities we talked about become activated. And then they start to build up. And it's this build up time when twin flames tend to come together like magnets. No one's ever felt so, they never felt so connected with anyone else. They feel like home with each other. All those amazing things you hear about twin flames. So, but then that's building up and it feels like a crescendo. And then it reaches what I call a tipping point when all of a sudden the polarities start to manifest physically, and they manifest as a push pull. So one twin flame has push energy. The other twin flame has pull energy. The twin flame with the push energy is their energy is pushing onto the other twin flame, and the other twin flame pulls away at the same time from the push energy of the other twin flame. So if you can imagine that, it then becomes almost impossible for the two physical twin flames to be together for any sustained amount of time, with one pushing and the other pulling away in tandem, right? So that's what causes them to physically get to repel, is what we call it, really. So that's what's going on there. And then, so I'm sorry, what was the rest of the question you asked?
So I was just asking about so is that basically all part of this twin flame journey that you took?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
So sorry, that is, yeah. So at soul recognition, that begins the twin flame journey. when the energies become activated. And then, so what happens with this push-pull, the push-pull is fear-based energy. All of duality actually is fear-based energy. So anything with polarity and duality, the whole third dimension, the energetic paradigm is fear-based energy, which is fine. But that's what the push-pull is. And the soul is not fear-based energy. The soul is love energy. And so the point, the twin flame journey has a point, and it's not just to end up, in a romantic relationship with your twin flame. Yes, that's usually the catalyst. Yes, that can happen, but that's not the soul's point with this whole thing. There's this much broader picture here. And that is, it's part of the ascension process. The ascension process, what happens with ascension is it means to rise up. So what happens is we energetically are rising up out of the fear-based energy into our soul love energy. And we do that by alchemizing or transmuting our own fear-based energy into love energy. And so the twin flame journey is doing that with ourselves, because our twin flame is ourself on the soul energetic level. But that brings me to something else you mentioned earlier, like, about personalities and, the physical characteristics and stuff. Twin flames are not the same physical body. They're the same soul. They don't share physically. They don't share anything. They share what they have is that they share, and in common is their soul, which is the strongest, most sacred bond there is. But that's what they have in common. So twin flames can be completely opposite personalities. They can have completely different likes and dislikes. That doesn't matter. And also with every twin flame journey, everyone's twin flame journey is how it plays out physically and how it manifests physically is unique and individual. Like there isn't one set thing, like sign of, what happens between the twin flames that really, can determine that it's a twin flame journey, other than what's going on with the energies. Behind the scenes of the energy, everyone's journey is exactly the same, but physically they're all unique and individual to each person.
That's fascinating. So, because I think most people are thinking you find their twin flame and you're going to be instantly in love and stay in love, and you're going to live happily ever after, and it's always a romantic, relationship. You're likely going to be married, or have this deep partnership, or this whole thing, that you're going to have with your twin flame is classically how it's put out there. Are you saying like that's part of the big, what are the big myths around twins? I mean, I feel like you're exposing so many by just what you said so far. So is that part of the myth? So my twin flame could be my guy friend that we play tennis with every week, or I play tennis with every week. I mean, could it be like anybody? It could be like my janitor, or whatever. I'm just curious. Yeah.
Yes, it could be. Yes. In fact, it's very interesting. Very common with twin flames is that there's usually, it doesn't always have to be this way, but very often, some kind of physical characteristic or obstacle that would make or break that relationship with anybody else. Like very common examples, huge age differences is very common with twin flames. Also, one or both twin flames being in committed relationships with other people, or married, have families, and then they meet. Another one is twin flames being the same sex when neither one of them have been gay before. Twin flames living on opposite ends of the earth, and they just meet through online or apps or chats or whatever, and the energy is that strong that they still go through all of this, even never meeting in person. So it's very common to have some kind of thing that you would think twice about having maybe a relationship with that person if they weren't your twin flame, but the energy is just so strong that it overcomes those physical obstacles.
Yeah. So how do we know if somebody, you said soul recognition, so we think in terms of like intuitively I'll just know, or something like that, but what are the signs? How do we know like someone's our twin flame? Because everybody wants to know, where's my twin flame, right? Everybody gets excited about it.
Yeah. Careful what you wish for, because it's a soul journey of work. It's not just all romance and butterflies.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you asked this question, because this is one of the most common myths, is like when you Google and you find, the signs you've met your twin flame and all of that. Most of those focus on how you feel in the build up period, right? Where I talked about where you're like drawn together like magnets, how they, you know, you feel a sense of home. You feel like you've known each other before. You feel like no one else has gotten you this way, you know, all those things. And that's good and great that those can be there, but also you can feel those kind of things with a close resonant soulmate as well. That's not what designates twin flames. In fact, you can't really know you're on a twin flame journey until once the energies repel. And then at that time, the push twin flame is the one that usually knows, because they're the ones that their energy can focus on all of this. The pull twin flame, remember, their energy is pulling away from the other twin flame and from all of this. They just, you know, they kind of like block it out, so to speak, energetically, right? So they can't even focus on any of this. So the push twin flame is left there. And there's three things that the push twin flame feels or does that, you know, are signs of a twin flame journey. And one of those is obsession. So this push energy that the push twin flame has, remember, it's pushing onto the physical form of the pull twin flame. And it's fear-based energy. And as fear-based energy, it controls the mind. And so their mind can only focus on the physical form of their twin flame, even though they've ghosted, they've left, they've, you know, blocked them, they've moved on, whatever. You know, they can only focus on it. It becomes to a point where it's obsession. And so, you know, they stalk them on social media, they stalk everyone they know, they find out everyone they're dating, who they're talking to, you know, like, it's crazy. And they feel crazy because, you know, they act like they wouldn't be acting like this, probably most people. And it just, they don't recognize themselves anymore. And it becomes really tedious and frustrating, because even though you see yourself doing it and you don't want to be focusing on them, you just can't. You can't say, okay, I'm not going to think about it anymore. You know, like with other things, it just, the energy is that strong, it just focuses on them. So that's one sign. The second sign would be core wound pain. Core wound pain is, and the pain is, there's a scale of it. So, I mean, it can be anything from a clenching, a tightening, a wrenching type feeling, all the way to feeling like you've been completely disemboweled and your soul's been literally ripped from your body and you have a huge gaping hole, and anywhere in between. But there's some kind of feeling like that, and it's either in your heart, your solar plexus, or your sacral chakra. And it's very often, it becomes activated and it becomes stronger, and you can feel it more when you are obsessing. So it's very much tied to the obsessive thoughts that you have. So that's the second one. And the third one is actually doubt. So remember, this is fear-based energy, and doubt is a component, is fear. So even though you might resonate with this, and if you're on the journey and you're meant to resonate with this, you will, and your soul will lead you to this. But, you know, you've known deep down, you have this knowing that, you know, yes, this is what I'm going through, but you always have the mind going with the fear, being like, no, there's no way. There's no way this is my twin flame. There's no way this is even a thing. You know, there's always this doubt until you balance out the fear-based energy regarding your twin flame. So yeah, those are the three signs, actually.
Wow. So when people say, I know Keanu Reeves is my twin flame, and they can't quit thinking about Keanu Reeves, that'll be only one sign, though. It doesn't necessarily mean they're a twin flame, right? I mean, that's just one sign, correct? Because then people say, oh my God, I've been obsessing about this person, famous person, or whatever, this person, and it may or may not be their twin flame, but it is just like one of the signs, I would imagine. Is that true?
Right. Yeah. It's just one of the signs. I mean, you could be obsessive about anything and anyone. Right? It doesn't mean they're your twin flame.
Right.
You know, it's, and quite frankly, honestly, we've had a few people come and insist that they're like celebrities, and even dead celebrities have been their twin flame. But, you know, I'm not in the business of telling people they are, all right. Regardless, whatever we teach, it's going to help them stop the obsession. So, I mean, it's all good, but it could be, who am I to tell them who their twin flame is? But, you know, no, it's besides obsession, you know, and, you know, there's a reason for the obsession, because you do have this. And so I'm not saying the obsession, you should have the, you know, it's good to have the obsession, I think, but the reason why it happens is because there was this buildup of the energy within you before, you know, the tipping point happened and the twin flame pulled away. You know, it comes as like the coming down from the high type thing.
So typically it's so when you say there's the push and pull, you have the push twin flame tends to be the one obsessing, and the other one's like, oh, I don't know about all that. You just leave me alone. Or are they distant, or is that what you're sort of saying? Or
Yeah, so with the push twin flame, yes, the push twin flame is the one that comes looking for help, Googling about it, like watching the videos all over the place, going to psychics, doing all that stuff. The pull twin flame, there's two dynamics, how once they repel, there's two dynamics that can play out. One is the pull twin flame just ghosts, leaves, gone, disappears, MIA, blocks them, and conceivably never wanting to be heard from again. But the other relating dynamic is the pull twin flame leaves and then comes back, leaves and comes back. And they usually have someone else that they're going to in between. And this is very common with twin flames who have been married or in other relationships and stuff. So they say, oh no, I have to go back to my spouse or whatever, this is wrong or whatever, whatever. And then, but they still keep coming in and out, in and out. And that's very, that's also very heartbreaking. Every time they leave, it's like they're pulling your soul away from you again, right? Mm-hmm. So those are the two dynamics that are common that usually happen with the twin flames.
Interesting. It's interesting because I've been in relationships where, like that person was like, I don't know if they're obsessed by me, but like they were like the pursuer, right? And then it's like, yeah, and then together, and then even when I'm getting married, they're like, well, it should be me, but okay, like it's something like that, like so it makes me wonder, like, it makes me think about I'm saying this too for other people like listening, like I wonder who that twin flame is it the person I'm married to? May or may not be, right? Just because you have a sense that you're with the right person doesn't necessarily mean. Again, I'm just helping to get through the conditioning, because we've been conditioned around this twin flame thing. Doesn't necessarily mean you're with your twin flame, right?
Right. No, it doesn't. But here's another thing about the pull, though, the pull twin flame. So even though physically it looks like they want nothing to do with them, or, they're able to like move on, so to speak, or whatever. Remember, they're the same soul. You can't move on from yourself, right? They're not moving on. Yeah, they're not moving on. Physically, they just can't physically. The energy is too strong for them to, they want to still be with the twin flame. Everything they felt in that buildup was real for them too, but they just, for some reason, they can't. And and again, the pull energy also controls their mind, where the push is controlling the mind and it's being obsessive of the push twin flame. The pull energy is also controlling the mind of the pull twin flame. So even though the twin flame feels it and knows that they connect it with you like no one else, or, they never felt so comfortable with someone or whatever it is, they have the pull energy controlling their mind, telling them, making up a reason why they should be angry at the twin flame, or why they shouldn't be with the twin flame, all this stuff. And, just really not allowing them to even go there and focus back on the push twin flame. It's all the energy. It's not because the twin flames don't want to be with each other. The soul desires itself. So, they both on the deep down desire to be with each other. And it's not like the pull twin flame just gets off and like it gets torturous for them, because fear-based energy is also addictive energy, thus the obsession, right? That's the obsession of the push twin flame. Well, the pull twin flame is also addictive energy. And so they have this sense, this feeling of, they have like, they want to be fulfilled. They have this addiction that they need to satisfy. So they try to satisfy this in every other place that they can, but with the push twin flame, who's the only person who can satisfy it, right? So in other words, they'll go move on and try to date other people, a lot of other people, become serial daters, or just jump right into another relationship, or go back to a previous relationship. A lot of the time, very common, the pull twin flame ends up, getting into drugs and alcohol and gambling, or becoming workaholics or something else. Anything can be addictive. So just really having that addictive energy, manifest in many different ways. So it's kind of torturous for them as well, but they just don't know why. And they don't know, what's going on. They don't know. They just feel like completely unsatisfied, and, yearning for what they had with the twin flame still, that they just can't get there physically because of the energy.
Yeah, I've never experienced that quite like what you're explaining. I mean, to a degree, I think maybe all of us experience a little bit of this sort of thing, and then maybe it goes away, right? Okay, well, they're not for me or whatever. But in this case, you're saying that pull twin flame, some level, they never like, if like you met when you were 18 or whatever, and then it didn't work out or whatever, and you never hear it from, you're still there. You're part of your being is still sort of obsessing or thinking about them. Is that what you're saying?
No, it's not obsessing, no, but, and it's because it's not the mind. The mind doesn't let them really go there. So they might have a fleeting thought, but then all of a sudden their mind will be like, oh, no, we're mad at that person, or no, they sucked, or whatever, right? But it's like within themselves, this knowing within them yearns for it, but the mind won't let them really focus on it enough to even go there. Except for the one that comes in and out. Now, there are lapses in that with the dynamic I told you about, where the pull twin flame comes and goes, comes and goes, comes and goes. It's like on again, off again, on again. And, it just gets crazy. And it's just like, it really mimics a toxic relationship at that point.
You guys are definitely not meant for each other. This is insane, this relationship.
Yeah. So, but it's for no sustained amount of time can the twin flames be physically together, as long as those polarities are in play. So that's what we teach people to do, is to we work with the push. The push is the one who comes looking for the help. And, we teach them how to stop the push energy, which then stops the pull, because, it neutralizes the polarity.
Hear that. Now, let's say like you've been on a deep spiritual journey already, like within yourself. Let's say you're meditating in the mountains for 30 years and you're already enlightened in a sense, and then you meet your twin flame, let's say. Would those same dynamics be present at first necessarily, or might it show up differently?
Yeah, they'd be present because that's how you're supposed to see it. That's the whole point of the twin flame journey, is to see this fear-based energy within you. This fear-based energy is actually the denied energetic shadow part of yourself. This is not to be confused with the shadow self or whatever that other people talk about. This is just, it's the part of your energy. We all have push-pull energy, and but except with our twin flame, one is always the push, the same one's always the pull. And so this push energy is the one that the push twin flame is meant to see. And it's because of the pull twin flame and this whole twin flame journey that it comes up for them to see. Right. So there's a point to this. So yeah, everyone's meant on this journey will have to see their fear-based energy and alchemize it.
Are there any stories you tell? Like, I don't know if there's a movie or if there's like examples, famous celebrities, or maybe you're just your own story, or anonymous stories you give us of like fleshing out like ways that this manifests itself. I mean, maybe that's in the book. Do you have it in the book? I'm curious, like, I think that would be fascinating to hear about these twin flame stories, like their journeys, to hear all the ways it could manifest itself. Sounds fascinating to me anyway.
Yeah, I mean, but there's infinite ways, right? As many people as there are, there's many ways it manifests. We've had people, I'll tell you some of the really amazing ones. So I've had students who, like you said, like grew up with their twin flames, met them and were high school sweethearts. They broke up somewhere along the line, and, like 20 years ago, realize they still haven't, the push twin flame still hasn't gotten over it, was devastated. And then all of a sudden, like, sees twin flames around and is like, oh my gosh, this must be what I've been dealing with for 20 years. Comes in and, does the work, and then who pops back in, after, 20 years is their twin flame. So there's a lot of stories like that. Ones with friends, people being friends with each other, and, same platonic, same sex friend. And then all of a sudden, they go through a twin flame journey, and not only, are they having all these new feelings for each other, but then eventually they're the one friend wants nothing to do with the other friend, it seems. And, there's that. So yeah, there's a lot of, I can't even, there's so many. I'm trying to think of another one.
Yeah. There's just so many different scenarios, right, that can unfold. It can look all different kind of ways, but there's these like general kind of dynamics that are always present, is what I'm hearing you say.
Oh, and it's very important to note, like we do have, there are, you don't have to have a romantic relationship with your twin flame either. I've worked with people who their coworkers were their twin flame, but they never dated or hooked up or anything like that. Also, closest relations. We've had a couple first cousins who are twin flames, but that's as close related that it goes. But yeah, so no one that's like, an immediate family member is twin flames or anything like that.
However they're showing up, of course, would be perfect for both of your journeys, right? I mean, the package they show up in, so to speak, like, oh, they're my sister or whatever, like all kinds of interesting scenarios, I would imagine, right?
Yeah, but never sister, never sibling, never parent.
Never sibling, as you say. Okay.
Yeah, no. The closest relation would be a first cousin.
Cousin kind of thing. Okay. Interesting. And yeah, I wonder, and then I'm like, I wonder why that would be. And like, why wouldn't it be a sibling or?
Well, okay, because family members, okay, so in 5D, the way it's almost like a family tree where how our souls are, we all come from one source, and then there's different ovoids, they were called, that came from the source, and then that was like one big soul, and then out of that soul there was branches, and it's like almost like a family tree, right? And so you get to the point where we're souls that when we incarnate with the same soul family. So we're part of a soul family in 5D, and in 3D, when we incarnate here, every lifetime, our physical family members are part of our soul family. And so if they're your soul family, they're not your same soul, they're other souls. So that's why family members are not because they're different souls.
Does not compute. Yeah, not part of the way it works. Okay, got that. That is so fascinating. Well, I'm taking some comfort in that. I told somebody one time, like, oh yeah, you're with your twin flame, but at the time my conditioning was still there about all these concepts of twin flame, but I was tuning in. I was like, yeah, they're definitely your twin. Comes back, definitely not my and I even knew then, but like, definitely not my twin flame. What a jerk, or whatever. I remember, and I was like, I don't know that I'm wrong, is what I remember thinking, but I was like, I wonder now if was that accurate or not. So I tend to be accurate when I tune into. So it's like that makes this is helping to clarify some things for sure.
Yeah, and I'm happy to help.
Appreciate that. So the last thing I wanted to talk to you about today, as far as like things I'd love to learn from you myself, and the audience, I would think would love to learn too. So tell us a little bit more about how this whole twin flame journey really does contribute to our ascension. I mean, that's a loaded word too. Everybody has a different idea what ascension is. So how does it contribute to that?
So it's part of the ascension process. Like I touched on earlier, ascension it means rise up. And so what we're doing when we reach ascension, we will have risen up out of the fear-based paradigm and energy level. So what that means is all of our own fear-based energy that we have within ourselves would have been transmuted into love, which means it would have basically been absorbed by our soul, because our soul is love energy. And under the universal law of the perpetual transmutation of energy, higher vibration energies always basically transmute lower vibration energies into themselves, right? So lower vibration energies are transmuted into higher vibration. So love is a higher vibration than fear. Our soul is the most powerful energy that exists in the universe, next to source energy. So it's more powerful than anything in this physical world, including fear-based energy. So the twin flame journey, remember, it's to see this fear-based push energy. When you see it, and then you see it, and then you learn how to, we call it balance, but really what it is you're alchemizing and transmuting it into your soul energy. As you do that, it forever, it gets part of your fear gets, turned into love within yourself. And you're also shifting closer into alignment with your soul, which is the love energy. So basically within yourself, you're going to be all love energy when you reach ascension, and your soul is everything you desire. And it's also the most, like I said, the most powerful energy that exists. So as soon as you're totally in line with that, everything in your physical, everything you desire is yours immediately. That's like the whole master creator thing, right? But even now, even teeny tiny degrees of shifting into closer alignment with your soul causes amazing, huge, immense changes in your physical world. So you magnetize in so many people, situations, things that more closely resonate with your true self and your true desires, which is your soul.
Interesting. So it's one of those things. It's a huge opportunity, I guess, right? It's huge opportunity for that transmutation of that energy. That's how I see it. So
it is. It's a gift. The journey has to be painful because it has to be a wake up call. Like, hey, this is something different's going on here. This isn't just a breakup. This isn't just normal heartbreak, or I'm upset because this relationship didn't work out, or I got ghosted, or whatever. It has to be so painful because it's your soul's wake up. It's like knocking over the head. Like, pay attention here. This is something important.
Nice.
That's why we're here, quite frankly. In every lifetime, we're heading towards ascension.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that. What we're calling ascension, right? All these words get a little goofy for me, because again, they're used in so many different ways. But yeah, absolutely. So let's see. Yeah, I'd love for you to tell people where they can learn more about that. I know you have the book, right? So where can they learn more? And if you want to tell them about your book too, that'd be great.
Sure. The book is Twin Flames Exposed. It's available on Amazon. It's actually next month will be the 5-year anniversary of it that I wrote it and put it on Amazon. And it dispels like the most common myths about twin flames, and in so doing explains all about twin flames. And it's written in a way that's very, by the way, it's not boring. It's the way I talk, not like now, but like I wrote it in very, I want to say easy to read, easy to understand, not really, getting all into this woo-woo stuff. So there's that book, and that's available on Amazon. And then on my website, bewithyourtwinflame.com, we have tons of stuff. We have, videos that explain, the most common questions about twin flames. We have access where you could access a free call to talk to our coaches if you think you might be experiencing a twin flame journey, and then access to all the other books and teachings, plus our social media. We have a lot of content on our YouTube channel, which is Be With Your Twin Flame, and our Instagram, which is @Be With Your Twin Flame. And we have a podcast as well, Twin Flame Truth, and you can access that wherever you get your podcasts.
Okay, nice. Yeah, that's great. I mean, wow. Yeah, that I could see why, that just even the subject itself is like one of those things that people will want to read, every book they can find on, that kind of thing, when they awaken to, like, when it's the right time for them, right? They're like, I need to know more about this twin flame stuff. So definitely everybody checked all that out for sure. And that's really awesome stuff. So I'm just so grateful to have you on today. I mean, this is not a subject we actually have covered here before. So it's really amazing to hear what you've had to say. And I've got to imagine you have I didn't push things too much today, I don't think, but you've got to have people that just tell you're wrong all the time. How do you handle that, by the way? Because I mean, you in this thing you're doing, you're going to have people criticize you and tell you're wrong all the time, I would imagine. Yeah. Do you experience that or not?
Well, yeah, for sure. There's a whole website out there about how I'm wrong.
Right.
Yeah. But, you know,
For our listeners that are doing edgy, truthful things that are like, they're always feeling judged. I'm just wondering how you handle that. I mean, maybe I did have actually another question. So here, this is my last one.
I mean, I handle it like, I mean, whatever, what anyone else thinks is about me is really not my business. It's not my problem. I can't control what other people think. You know, when they're ready, they'll resonate with the truth. Everyone's exactly where they're meant to be at
Right.
every moment. So it's not for me to judge them judging me, really. You know what I mean? So I know the truth and I know my truth, and it's all good.
Well, that's wonderful. You're able to center yourself in that and not allow that to drive you too wild, hopefully. Good. Good.
Yeah.
But my point is you know, you've impacted tons of lives. You have all these coaches working with people. You've got a significant business, and I just want to acknowledge you, because I think, again, that's more of where there's so much opportunity for a lot of people that are listening. Like, see, like when we go into the edgier material and you're willing to go to those places, you can impact people's lives in a huge way. And even if like all these people disagree, there's a lot of people who are like, oh my God, Xantha Press makes everything make sense finally, right? So like, yeah, that whole thing we talk about in business, right? This polarity. You have your raving fans and you have your raving people saying you're wrong and creating websites saying you're wrong. It's like all this kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And you know, it's everyone has haters. But I actually had a business coach, not anything to do with like edgy spirituality, but a business coach once said, you reach success when you have haters. So I don't know from the business aspect. So that's how I
Everybody has them that is big in the spotlight, right? Eckhart Tolle has haters.
I know. I couldn't believe Eckhart Tolle had haters.
Right, even he does. Even he does. Yeah.
I know.
Seems to be so innocuous, right? Like you just
like,
are in the present. I hate you. You're wrong.
Yeah, but that's the whole duality thing, like you said. It's where there's love, there's got to be some haters.
Yeah.
The more people you impact in a positive way, there's going to be the negative there.
Yes. Wouldn't be any other way. So, all right. Okay, so the last thing, last couple of things here. Last thing I wanted to do is just to share maybe a couple of. I like to do some scanning for our guests. Would this be an okay time for me to do a quick check-in and see if there's any messages for you?
Oh, sure. Thank you.
Okay, awesome. All right, let me see what's coming through here. I'm already getting something. Something about this landing into your sacral energy, like the landing of your energetic light being and deeper into you, like they're showing you the sacral especially, and then through the root, but like into the sacral, and like just this sense of lightness coming in, and that this deepening of this energy is allowing again for there to be an even greater container. I feel like there's another message. I feel like there's another message that goes, that's even a bigger container than the twin flame message. So I feel like you're going into a bigger message. That's what it feels like when I land in there. So just sharing that, and let's see if I can get one or two more. Usually I do three. I don't know, just showing me with your third eye energy, the haters are there, and you're just like, you got the, whatever, you're in your queenship or whatever you want to call it. And I just see that. And yeah, I just feel like you're able to just, you'll be able to be somewhat impervious, even though I can feel the energy come on your back. It starts to fall off pretty quickly. So then you're able to continue to be steadfast. So I just noticed that energy. See what else I'm noticing today. I just hear like it's I just hear that more of there's. I don't know again where you are with all this, but like with your light team, like I just hear them really like like, we want her to play with us more, you know. It's a vibe I get. Like, I feel them in your heart. They're just like, we want to play more. So just the idea of maybe having more, maybe some more magical conversations with them, or working with them more directly, indirectly. But like creating magic together with them even more. Like, they're like, we want to do some more. We want to have some more fun. Like, that's just the vibe I'm getting for them. Yeah, we could be doing, you know, like, what is it? Like, not just, yeah, like the writing the books, but like doing new and creative things. Like, I don't know what it would be. Like, I'm seeing like maybe a cruise ship or something, and you know, yachts or whatever, like something like that. And I get writing, and so, you know, I don't know, like coming up with twin flame journals, or I don't know, like all these different creative ideas are coming is through their playfulness, is kind of what the vibe I'm getting. So anyway, so I just share whatever comes through, knowing it's for some reason, and grateful to share with you. So
Thank
any
you.
reflections on what came through? Yeah.
I totally appreciate that. Thank you. The sacral chakra, I resonate with that, because remember I talked about core wound pain, and it's either in your heart, your solar plexus, or your sacral chakra. Mine is in my sacral chakra. And I mean, I haven't felt it in years. I'm pretty balanced regarding my own twin flame and twin flame journey. But why the core wound pain is there is that's the part of your body that your push energy and your pull energy enters and leaves your body through. That's the chakra. And we have that not just with our twin flames, but with everything and everyone else. So I'm happy to hear that there's some light coming into there rather than me pushing fear-based energy out, like as usual with other people. So that's
more and more, letting more and more in. Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Grateful to share with you and everybody. If you want to check me out, you can go to yoursacredpurpose.com. Currently at this time, I'm taking applications for now to do energy scan consultations. Let's see what's in the energy for you if you're a world changing light leader. So check that out at yoursacredpurpose.com. And then you can also get the Meditate and Make Money meditation there. Open up your energies, get your ooh-la-las coming in energetically for what's wanting to be activated inside you. Get your Meditate and Make Money meditation magic at yoursacredpurpose.com. All right, so as we're wrapping up, I just want to go ahead and allow you to have the last word. So any last words for the audience today?
Just, I guess my last word is to know everything is okay. You know, no matter even if you're feeling like crap, or you're feeling great, or, you know, you're just blah, or things just don't seem to be going your way in the physical world, just know that your soul is orchestrating everything. It really is. And your soul's most powerful energy in the universe. It's love energy. It's everything that you desire. And it doesn't mess up. And, you know, you are your soul, and you are that powerful, and you are perfect. So, you know, don't get caught up on things so much in the physical world. Really, it's all good. It's all happening for a reason.
So true. So true. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being on the show today, Elle. It was really amazing listening to your wisdom and what you have to share. And I always, at a mental level, I'm always like, it doesn't matter if I agree or disagree with everything the guest has to say. What I'm here is to receive my own truth with any speaker, anybody, my own voice, even like whatever I'm thinking, even, or whatever I'm downloading, like to know my own truth. And I feel like you've awoken that for me and everybody that's listening, been able to listen through the whole thing without saying, I don't agree with that, right? And then the other half are like, I want to learn more, right? So, but thank you for doing the work you do, for your courageousness and sharing, no matter how many naysayers there are, that you have incredible truth to share. And I'm grateful for what you've shared today. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much, Dan. It was a pleasure. Lots of love.
Lots of love. And to all our audience, as always, keep on tuning in, and we'll keep on rocking it here at Spiritual Rockstar Podcast. Till next time, everyone, goodbye for now. Listening to Spiritual Rockstar Podcast. Stay tuned for our next upcoming new episodes each Saturday. Please be sure to subscribe, rate, and review to help us to serve you best. As a reminder, you can get your free Meditate and Make Money meditation at www.yoursacredpurpose.com. yoursacredpurpose.com to rock your sacred purpose. Goodbye for now, everybody.